Good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of On the Court First Coffee. My name is David George Smith. Hope everyone's having a great Friday. Happy Friday. You made it. Congratulations. Nobody asked you to do anything else this week, but make it to Friday. At least that's all I asked of you, if that means anything. Happy Halloween. If everyone stays safe out there. No, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Um, Hopefully it's gonna be nice and warm. It's gonna get a little chilly, but I'm freezing right now. It's very cold. It's that time in Florida where it's not cold enough to put the heat on, but it's not hot enough to put the AC on. So I kind of just have the windows open at like 50 degrees, 55 degrees. It's nice little chill in here. Nice little chill in this establishment. And some people like that, but I need it warm. It's got to be warm. Can't do the snow, can't do the cold. I've done it. Just can't do it. I often think about that with players, in any league for that matter. Like if they grow up in a climate where it's nice and warm, like if they grow up in Florida, for example, and then they have to go play in Minnesota, wonder how that works out. I think Matt Barnes said one time on his podcast, he's born and raised in LA. And I think the only Eastern Conference team he played for was the Sixers, if I'm not mistaken. Matt Barnes, former Sixer. But be that as it may, he did say that he didn't like the cold. He wanted to stay in California. So that's the weather. Let me check if that was the only played for the Knicks in '05. Okay. So drafted by the Clippers, went to the Kings, then went to the Knicks, then Sixers. So he was only on the East Coast for 2 years. And then ever since, he's been Golden State, Phoenix, or Orlando, which is warm. But yeah, I mean, there's a perfect example of a guy that doesn't like to play in the cold. That's Matt Barnes. But shout out to Matt Barnes. Um, but he didn't. He said, yeah, I remember listening. He didn't like Philadelphia just because of the cold. He's a California guy. He wants to be more. Let me know your thoughts. Let's get into some of these takes today. I asked you yesterday. So go on my Instagram at @dsmithbasketball. That is at @dsmithbasketball. I'm gonna drop some more. Gonna drop a post probably for Monday's episode as well. So make sure to submit your takes. Let's get into some of these basketball takes. First one I'm gonna read is Tobias Harris is better than Paul George. I mean, yeah, one guy's playing and one guy isn't. So that's a fine take, I guess. Embiid is better than Jokic. Nah, if you asked me maybe a couple years ago, I would have said yes, but even as a Sixers fan, I think at this point in time in his career, I think it's impossible to say that when he can only play 20 minutes or so. When you have him on restricted minutes, the only way that you would be proven right with that is if he would be to be taken off restricted minutes and play 38 minutes a night, and that's all assuming he does that. Puts up 20, puts up 30 and 10, and still doesn't get hurt. That's how Embiid could be better than Jokic. That's the only way that I see. That's the only logical explanation. And then finally, well, not finally, Jeremy McCain's better than Curry. Okay, so I see it's a Sixers fan. I like it. I like it. Jeremy McCain is better than Steph Curry. I like it. I like it. I think that's a great take. Lastly, everyone is right. Everyone is rightfully talking about VJ, but Dylan Harper deserves Rookie of the Year hype. Everyone's talking about VJ, but Dylan Harper is the one that deserves the NBA hype? I mean, let's break it down. Let's break it down, folks. I think going into it, I think coming into the season, if you had asked me, maybe I would have said Dylan Harper. As far as who do I think would have a better chance of winning Rookie of the Year? Uh, I think now, especially when you watch BJ and Dylan Harper, I don't think there's any question about it that VJ Edgecombe is probably, if you had to pick between the two, that VJ would be the ideal candidate. Now, I think going into the season, people might have had a little bit more hype. There's a little bit more hype around Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper so far, 14 points, about 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Pretty good. Last night he had 13 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists against the Miami Heat. Wondering if I can see his par 36. Do a little research. I think right now you got to give the hype to VJ. You got to see more. One, you got to understand Dylan Harper's playing in San Antonio. So when you play in San Antonio, you're unless you're Victor Wembanyama, you're not going to get a lot of hype around you. That's how it's always been. That's how it always will be. They're just a boring team. But the way they play basketball is beautiful. So it might be boring to you, but like me as a coach, and I know a lot of other coaches love watching Spurs basketball. So you're not going to get a lot of hype around you when you're playing for a team that values fundamentals, isn't getting the highlight reels, isn't getting all that. So naturally, Dylan Harper's going to get less hype than VJ Edgecombe. But that being said, even giving Dylan Harper that quote unquote excuse, he hasn't had a game over 25 points, over 20 points rather. His highest scoring game was against Brooklyn. 20 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, plus 33, plus minus of 33. That's pretty good. But is he doing more than VJ right now? I don't think so. Because VJ's doing that and he's giving you 30 a night. So, yeah, you're just not going to get a lot of hype when you're in San Antonio. And I think if VJ keeps balling the way he is, he's no doubt going to win the Rookie of the Year. It's going to be undisputed. I don't think Dylan Harper's has a chance to get in the way of that. Assuming stars align, it's a blue moon. VJ Edgecombe goes off, keeps going off. I don't know if Dylan Harper's going to be able to squeak in there. And partially, he's been playing great basketball, but I think VJ has just been playing better. But I think partially is also on the media side of that. When you're in San Antonio, you're just not going to get hype unless you're Victor Wembanyama. Let me know your thoughts about that. I think Dylan Harper's a great player. I just think VJ is a lot better. Let me know your thoughts about that. Let's get into the cup. We got the cup today. Cup is starting today, folks. There's a new format. I went over it on the about a week ago, I want to say. A couple days ago. Weird format. They changed it up. I don't know. Let me know what you think about it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think it's a useless, pointless thing to do. I get it. I get what you're trying to do, but I just don't. I think that they're just doing it horribly. I think it's very extra too. Why don't you just do a damn bracket in the middle of the season? whoever you pick a pool, why don't you just do that and then just crown whoever wins that bracket the champion of the NBA Cup? Why do you have to do all this pool circuit crap? It's pointless. And then you're asking me to follow a new set of rules. I don't want to follow a new set of rules. How many rules I have to follow in life? Now you want me to follow these before the All-Star break, before Christmas even? Get out of my face. I'm still going to watch it. But I will forget about the formatting, the rules and regulations. So let's get into some of the matchups. Sixers Celtics at Philadelphia. This will be an interesting game. The Celtics are playing a little bit better. You got Sixers who are, knock on wood, undefeated. Hopefully we can keep that up. Hopefully VJ can keep balling. You got Boston in the house tonight. Celtics did improve to 2-3. They did just beat Cleveland by 20. They beat the Pelicans. So they have been hooping decently better than the start of the season. I think it'll be a close game again, but I think the Sixers will take it again. I think the Sixers are hot. I think they'll remain hot until probably the end of the All-Star break, and then they'll probably fall to like 4 or 5. That's what I'm thinking. But it's good. I like the core of this Sixers team. I don't know. I just like the fact that we're winning without Paul George and Embiid. And it's good basketball. Like, it's good quality wins. Like, it's good ball movement, good shots, high percentage looks, gritty defense, rebounding, boxing out. Like, when you watch this team, there's still the problem that I've always had with the Sixers, which for whatever reason they do it, and I guess a lot of teams just do it. But because I watch the Sixers more than any team, maybe I just notice them do it more, is that what they'll do is they'll give no regard to the shot clock and then just have a 5-second offense. So just one pass, somebody chucks up a 3, it misses, now we're running back on defense. That excruciates the crap out of me. And I still see that with the Sixers, but not as much. Not as much. Spacing looks really good with this team. I'm really excited to watch what they can do. After that, you got the Hawks and the Pacers. The Pacers have been losing. They're 0-4. But if you look at their losses, they've all been very, very close. I mean, there's the season opener again, which went into 2 overtimes. A lot of iffy calls, a lot of weird stuff going on there. But they almost took it. If we look at some of these losses, I mean, it's a 4-point loss to the Wolves. You barely lost to the Thunder. You lose to the Grizzlies by 25. Yeah, that's bad. You lose to the Timberwolves in Minnesota by 4. You lose in Dallas by 2. You got a decent matchup against the Atlanta tonight. You've got a home court advantage. I think this is a good opportunity for Indiana to get their first win. Cavs and Raptors at 7:30. I think the Cavs are going to take that one. You know how I feel about Cleveland at this point. I think they're exceptional. I think they're just delicious as far as basketballs. I don't know why delicious was the first word, but when I watch the Cavs play basketball, I'm happy. I think they'll get a win tonight against Houston, especially in Cleveland. I'm telling you, folks, watch out for Cleveland. Knicks and Bulls. Knicks are going to take that one in Chicago at 8 o'clock. Lakers, Grizzlies. I'm going to go with the Grizzlies. I don't know how much Austin Reeves has left in the tank this week, but he could easily prove me wrong. I don't think anybody expected him to have a 50-piece. Again, still no Luka, still no LeBron. Jazz and Suns at Phoenix. I think Phoenix is going to take that one. Obviously, the Jazz are going through a rebuild, so I'm not expecting too much from them this season. Nuggets at Blazers. I'm going to go with the Nuggets on this one. And then Pelicans at Clippers. Going to go with the Clippers. So, a couple good matchups there. I like the Grizzlies and Lakers I'm going to be looking at. Hawks and Pacers, I'll be flipping between that and the Sixers Celtics, obviously. Really hoping the Indiana gets their first win. They've been hooping. Like, they have been hooping. If you look at their losses, like, they're not bad losses. Again, they'll get one. I think they can make the playoffs. I think they will. I think I can squeeze into a 6 seed. Even without Halliburton. So I'm excited to see what they do tonight. Let me know your thoughts. Who do you think is going to win the cup? How much do you care about the cup? That's what I want to know. How much do you really care about the cup? You might care about it a lot. You might be like Dame, and then you get your first cup, and then you say you're an NBA champion now. That was the funniest thing I've ever heard him say. When he got it, when they got the cup, he was like, "I'm an NBA champion now." Sure, buddy. Sure. Participation trophy. I don't know. I just think it's a little pointless. They need to make the stakes higher. Make it intense. What are we really playing for? Let me know your thoughts about that. That's going to wrap it up for this week of On the Court First Coffee. Again, go on Instagram at @DSmithBasketball. I'm going to be posting something where you need to submit your takes, and I'll read them. I'll let you know what I think. If my opinion means anything. It should, because if it didn't mean anything, then why are you listening to me and just me? It's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for watching. I want you to have a great weekend. Have a great holiday. Be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And yeah, that's all I got. Enjoy watching basketball. Enjoy life. And thank you. Goodbye.